So if you are like me, you're a man of many projects, lots of projects going on at the same time. You've got your full-time job, which you're working on. You've got, maybe it's a career, doctor, lawyer, accountant, maybe you're in the corporate section, but that's your income. You're doing that, but you've also got these projects on the side. It's not your passion. You want to get out of your main job and you want to pursue something else. You've got a project going on, you've got your side hustle going on, but you've also got other tasks. You're trying to hit the gym 3 times a week, you're trying to stay in shape, you're trying to maintain relationships with your girlfriend or wife, or even just social life, and you're trying to sleep. And it's hard to juggle all these tasks. I know this because I am describing myself. I have a side hustle, a community that I'm working on, a school group, and I also have a full-time job. And it's very hard for me to get my deep work in and maximize the time I have to make sure that it's quality and productive, and I'm not distracted and I'm not procrastinating. And time is not something I have, so I can't afford to procrastinate. And you may be in the same position, and if that's the case, then in this video we're going to brainstorm. I'm going to describe helpful things that are working for me, and I hope some of these reasons can inspire you. But also, if you're a step ahead of me in the same position, or you've been in this position and have also found tips or things that are working for you, write them in the comments. So let's ponder. Why is it so hard to focus on one thing at one time and not be distracted? Because that's the ideal. That's what I want. I want to, and I really believe I'm capable of this. I want to be productive. I want to sit down. I want to focus on one thing, whether it is my YouTube video, whether it is a course in my classrooms, in my community, whether it is writing a post and, for engagement. I want to focus on that one thing until completion and then switch my attention to something else. But often I find myself, and I think a lot of people can relate to this, finding that difficult because of switching your attention, being in a reactive mindset. So perhaps it's picking up your phone, seeing a notification, your attention switched, and you're also getting other information, other notifications in, and your attention goes to that, and then back onto your main task, in which case you have to take a while to get back into that same focus. And then maybe a few seconds or minutes later you turn back because you experience a little bit of boredom. So the ideal, of course, is the opposite of that. To embrace boredom, to feel comfortable, to feel at peace, to not have distractions. So one thing that works for me when I do find myself to be able to focus and concentrate more, in all those times I didn't have access to distractions. Things weren't coming to me. I didn't have the opportunity to respond or not, because more often than not, an over 90% chance, if I have a notification that comes through, my brain wants to respond to it. It wants to see what's happening. So I just have to remove myself from that. I have to put my phone away, different room. I have to X out the browsers of social media or whatever it is, emails. And I just have to have 1 or 2 browsers that I'm actually using for this one task. A helpful thing for me is to have the question in my mind, is this bringing me closer to my objective for this deep work session. So it's good to have an outcome goal because that keeps you accountable. Does for me anyway. Is this getting me closer to uploading this YouTube video? Because that's the point of this. So I can engage in different tasks, but only if it's purposeful, if it's bringing me closer to the outcome that I want. And if something comes in or I start to do something that's not in keeping with that, well, that shouldn't happen because of the question. So outcome driven is important. It keeps you accountable, keeps you focused. And I've talked about no distractions and optimizing your environment for that. The third thing that I find helpful when I am productive versus the times when I'm distracted is my mental state going into the work. So maybe you're different, but for me, if I'm feeling low energy, if I'm feeling tired, if I haven't slept enough, if I'm stressed, going into a deep work session is it's challenging for me to get myself out of that, to get myself going. It's unlikely after having done that productivity, that deep work session, for me to feel good after it. And it's also more likely that I'm going to seek out distractions more or be distracted in my thoughts, be less motivated and driven. So I find that when I'm in a better mental state, more energy, that my productivity is far better, my ability to focus is far better, and my motivation is far better. So things that help me feel good are trying to make sure I'm not stressed. So whether that's going to the gym, releasing those endorphins, feeling good, or having a cold shower, or just having had a few nights of good sleep. And yeah, just looking after myself, making sure I've eaten some good food recently, I'm hydrated, and yeah, done a bit of exercise, I think is a big one for me. Once I've done those things and feel more energized, I know that I'm more likely to have a good productivity session because I'm motivated. So yeah, that's just 3 things that are helpful for me. And again, this is not coming from a productivity expert. It's coming from someone who struggles with productivity, but is curious to overcome them. And it's coming from someone who I've stuck with my side hustle, if you want to call it that, my school community, with this full-time job. I've stuck with it for 3 months. And in this 3 months, I've been really busy. I've been really stressed. I've been demotivated. But I've been pretty consistent with this because it is something I want to do. And yeah, there's been times where I've been productive. There's been times where I haven't. But I've still got the work done at a decent pace. And I'm still learning. And that's just my reflection so far. So if you're in a similar position to me, building your side hustle, your community, your online brand, while perhaps you have a full-time job and you're wanting to maximize that time when you have an opportunity to attack it, then yeah, let me know in the comments. And if you're interested, join my community that I am building for us, for like-minded people. It's a productivity and performance optimization community. And again, I'm not an expert in this, but I'm learning and I'm sharing my journey, and it's a community of like-minded people in there to inspire us. So that's the point of it. I don't think I have to be an expert. I just want to be authentic. So yeah, I hope you got something out of this.